Maybe you live in the US or you want to travel in the US, but you're like,
Oh, I don't actually know how to pronounce all of these places and cities.
let's take a look at how to pronounce the 10 most common cities in the US. Now, we're going to be pronouncing these in a way that sounds really natural, so we're going to try to keep our placement low with lots of breath passing through. Be sure to take a look at the videos in the video description if those are new concepts for you. One other major concept in American English, when you have a name that has two parts to it, you usually want to emphasize the second one. We see this with our first city, New York. New York. Notice that York is the stress. It's not New York, it's New York. You want to make sure also that that R sound in York is present but not overly strong. It's not York, it's York. You can try opening your mouth a little wider and also try to get more breath through. You can check yourself by just trying to say your 3 times. Your. If you find that you're saying your, well, that's a sign that your R sound is too strong. Or if you're saying yeah, well, that's a sign that your R sound is too weak. Be careful also with no. If you have some British training, you might be pronouncing that as new, and that's not quite the right sound, right? We're going for no. So don't add an E sound before the O. Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Notice again, we're stressing Angeles. The loss is going to be super, super fast and have a lower pitch. Loss, loss, then Angeles. The tricky thing here is going to be the an sound in general. When you have an a, like in cat, followed by an n, you want to make sure enough air is passing through your nose right before the n. It should sound like an. If you find you're doing and, that's a sign that we're really tense. Or if you find you're doing an, well, that's a sign that we're not getting that an sound. So again, you want to do a heavy breath out of your nose right before the N. Los Angeles. Lastly, for that L, you can use a dark L sound with the front of your tongue down and the back of your tongue high. Angeles, Angeles. You don't need to actually touch the top of your mouth like Angeles. It's more Angeles. Los Angeles. Chicago, Chicago. Here you can either say sh or you can say sh, whichever feels better for you. The second syllable will have your ah sound. Ah, like in stop, so you want lots of air to pass through. This is also your stress syllable. You're going to finish with go, but don't make the G sound too strong. It's not go, it's go. Try saying go 3 times. Go, go, go. If you find that you're saying go, 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 that's a sign that your G is a little too heavy. Make sure you're also finishing with an O sound. So it's not ga, Chicago, it's Chicago. Houston. The last syllable has like a short I sound linking with an N, which can be tricky. Sten, sten. If you find that you're saying steen, steen, that's a sign that we're not quite using the right vowel sound. So be careful. It's like the preposition in. Hugh, hue. Just like saying you, but with an H instead. This is also your stress. Houston. If you find that that's tricky, maybe you're saying hue, that could be a sign that your lips are a little bit too round or your sound's too tense, so you're not letting enough air through. Houston, Phoenix. This city name has a very difficult combination. It has an E sound, which maybe your language has. Make sure you're not doing E. It's not fee, it's E. Fee. I'm projecting from a lower spot and I'm trying to get more air through. If you find that difficult, you can take a look at this video for breath practice. The second syllable has a short I sound like nix. Nix. It can be helpful to have the sides of your tongue touch your top teeth, like you're biting the sides of your tongue a bit. Nix. So see if you can do this combination. Phoenix. Phoenix. By the way, guys, if you're finding this helpful, did you know that we do pronunciation live streams in a private Facebook group 2 times a day, Monday through Friday, and we would love to have you with us. Take a look at fluentamerican.com/Mission English for more details. Philadelphia. So the stress here is on del, which comes very late in the word, right? So the filla part we can do very fast. I'm going to use a dark L sound. So instead of filla with the tip of my tongue high, I'm going to keep my tongue down. Filla, filla. It's a short I sound followed by a schwa. Filla. Del. Make sure you can say L. L, again with a dark L sound. Tip of your tongue down. If you're saying L, that can cause your sound to get a little bit choppy and not as smooth. So keep the breath flowing and the tongue down. The last two syllables, make sure you're not finishing with an ah. So it's not Philadelphia, it's Philadelphia. San Antonio. I have a challenge for you here. See if you can say this word with the tip of your tongue down against the bottom of your mouth the entire time. San Antonio. San Antonio. That's just going to help get more air through. If you're using your tongue in a higher position, it can make the word sound a little choppier. San Antonio, right? Versus San Antonio. The stress here is on tone. That own combination can be very tricky. Make sure you're not adding a vowel sound right before it. So it's not O and it's own. San Antonio. San Antonio. Finish also with a strong O sound at the end. It's not finishing with an ah. So it's not San Antonio, it's San Antonio. San Diego. Similar points here. Again, we have that O sound at the end. We have an EA. EA. Make sure you can get that vowel shift going okay. It's not EA, it's EA. One thing that's also going to be helpful here too for the sands, for we saw this in San Antonio as well, san. This is that ah sound plus a nasal. So make sure you're getting breath through your nose right before the N. And. If you're saying and, that's a sign that we're too tense. We're not letting enough air through. We're also projecting too high. If you say san, then that's a sign that we're not getting that breath through the nose right before the N. And we're doing more of an but we want more an. San. San Diego. Dallas. Another dark L sound. Keep that tip of your tongue down against the bottom of your mouth. So don't say Dallas, it's Dallas. That last syllable is a short I sound. It's like is, not east. It's not Dallas, it's Dallas. It's also not a schwa sound, so not Dallas, it's Dallas. San Jose. Again, we talked about San. For Jose, make sure you're getting a Z sound, Jose, and you're finishing with an A sound. It's not A, Jose, it's Jose. San Jose. There's another thing I'm a little bit nervous about. Can you pronounce the months of the year in a way that sounds natural in North America? Find out in this video here.